Fill your glasses up and put your headphones in, because it's time for Off the Script. And all you fucking goons and assholes, get in line and hit subscribe, because it's time for Off the Script. Hit the like button and share it around. You can even pull your fucking pants down, because it's time for Off the Script with JD from New York 206, because it's time for Off the Script, because it's time for Off the Script.
What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Thank you so much for tuning back into the channel. I got a little extra Off the Script for you. April 15th, 2017, with a topic that I've wanted to talk about ever since the conclusion of WrestleMania 33. It is never too early to be thinking about WrestleMania 34, and with the roster shakeup and the possibilities that WWE has presented us going into 2018 and for the remainder of 2017, there's a lot of matchups that could definitely make WrestleMania 34 a very memorable show. In fact, in my honest opinion, it could go down, possibly if WWE books everything correctly, as one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. So in this video, I'm going to go over the 5 matchups that I think need to happen at WrestleMania 34. Absolutely no questions asked. Now, a lot of people disagreed with me. Actually, I'm not going to, that's a lie. I think it was 50-50. More people disagree with me, just as many as people agreed with me about WrestleMania 33. A lot of people tend to give WrestleMania a thumbs-up show every year because of the spectacle that is WrestleMania. Whatever factors into that, I really don't know. It differs, per person. But with the stage and the setup and the lights and the crowd and just the ambiance that is WrestleMania and the WrestleMania moments that we see each and every year, a lot of people tend to give the show a thumbs up based on those things alone. That's not the way I see it. To me, WrestleMania is just not about entertainment. You're not going to get, a thumbs up WrestleMania just based on entertainment alone. If you really dive into it and you really think about it, where did most of your thumbs up come from this year for WrestleMania? Outside of the AJ Styles and Shane McMahon match, where did most of your thumbs up come from? Hardy Boy return, The Undertaker retiring, and the moment that made everybody emotional at the end of that show. The stage, the entrances, just the overall appearance that is WrestleMania, the lively Orlando crowd. A lot of those things factored into you guys giving WrestleMania a thumbs up. But what you are really avoiding is the fact that what happened in that ring was below mediocre. It did not deliver a WrestleMania-worthy event. I'm sorry. And I'm talking about strictly what happened in that ring. Lesnar and Goldberg was great. For the 5 minutes that it was great. Outside of that, there was nothing else that happened in that ring that made you think this is a great WrestleMania. And I'm being completely honest with you. I'm here to change your mind. I'm here to give you guys 5 matches that I think need to happen at WrestleMania for WWE to move away from this stigma of strictly lights and WrestleMania and stage and this and that. WrestleMania is the showcase of the greatest talent in the world. If you're not giving at least some of that to what happens in the ring, you're never going to have an unbelievable WrestleMania. And each and every year, WrestleMania should really be the culmination of unbelievable. I'm just being honest with you. That's just the way I see it. So I'm going to start off with number 5 here. And number 5 is something that we talked about already. Number 5 is something that I honestly think needs to happen here in WWE. Roman Reigns is one of the biggest talked about controversial topics in all of wrestling. If you hate Roman Reigns, you're going to make somebody cry. You're going to make somebody salty. I mean, for the love of God, we had a 40-year-old woman have a petition started to take a fictitious character off of television because he brutally beat Roman Reigns in what was obviously a scripted ordeal. That's how crazy these fans are. And yet people tell me that Roman Reigns and having Roman Reigns not be the chosen one or being vocal about Roman Reigns not being the man is not controversial. Roman Reigns fans make it controversial. Clearly you've never been on social media. Clearly you haven't watched YouTube. I mean, the most controversial video that I made was the fact that I went off on Roman Reigns when he failed his drug policy. And the fact that I state every single week that Roman is not the man. WWE's stance on Roman Reigns and the plans for Roman Reigns right now are for him to win the Universal Championship from Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 34. I don't see how that's going to aid in getting Roman where you need him to be. Roman is getting non-organic heat. Roman is not getting the proper heel heat. Oh, but he's getting a reaction. If you don't want to see Roman, go to the bathroom, go to the concession stands, go to the merch booth. Roman is there, and he's getting that type of reaction, and WWE doesn't seem to realize that there's money there. Roman is not a heel. Triple H wants to think he's a heel, but Roman is not a heel. What do you think's going to happen with this Braun Strowman situation? He got his ass kicked. A normal man would be out months with that type of beating. Roman's going to come back before Payback. He's going to Superman punch Braun Strowman. He's going to spear him through a table. And then that's it. And you will know, and you will be given the reason as to why the fans fucking hate Roman Reigns. There's no way you're going to get this guy over to be a babyface if he's getting that type of reaction and continue to push him as the Superman being beat up by the villain only to overcome all evil in the end. It's not going to work. It may work with the 88-year-old goon in the crowd. It may work for the 40-year-old virginless or you know, the housewife who hasn't had sex in 20 years. You know? Not going to work with me. It's not going to work with the hardcore fans. Come on. Give me a break. Give me a break. The 40-year-old virgin sitting at home with the glasses who started the petition to take Braun Strowman off television, those are the ones you're going to please with that type of behavior. Me? You're not going to please us because we see right through the veil, WWE. Roman needs to be in a position that lends, at least, or aids in him actually being the babyface that WWE wants. And I've said it for months. And it's finally come to fruition. Dean Ambrose is on Monday Night Raw. Seth Rollins is on Monday Night Raw. Roman is on Monday Night Raw. Was Roman hated in the Shield? No. Roman played a role that was perfect for him as the silent badass. Only spoke when he needed to. When he did, it was a few words. And then he let his actions speak volumes. That's what Roman needs to do for a short term. I've always said that Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose and the popularity that is those guys, it would rub off on Roman Reigns. At least for a little bit. What WWE does with that after that Shield reunion, that mini reunion is over and done with, remains to be seen. That's up to them. But if you want Roman to see somewhat of an organic babyface reaction, I think the best thing right now is to have him rub off on two guys who are over with the crowd. You know, there's a reason why all three guys are in the top 10 for Forbes.com most paid WWE superstars. All three of the guys were in the top 10. It's merchandise. Ambrose is selling merchandise like crazy. Rollins is selling merchandise like crazy. Ambrose doesn't take a fucking day off. He's a machine. And Roman Reigns, I mean, it's a mixture of merchandise and house show. People come out to see Roman at the house show because it's all casual. The only merchandise that you're going to see at a house show is the Romans and the Cenas and the Rollins and the upper echelon guys. You're not going to be seeing a Titus O'Neil t-shirt at the merch booth. It's all Roman. That's why he's number one, or supposed number one. But to have this man come out and receive the nuclear heat that he does and continue to push him as a babyface, he ain't no heel, WWE. You're capitalizing on your own agenda because they want him to be the man. They want him to cater to the casuals. But the fans, in droves, are telling you what needs to be done. We don't want to see Roman overcome the odds. He's never going to get over that way. Put him with people that their popularity is going to rub off on him and give him a role in which people will actually tolerate him and appreciate him. So the Shield at WrestleMania, who do they go up against? I think Finn Balor is ready for a heel turn, bro. I don't know about you, but I think he's ready for a heel turn. Balor is on Monday Night Raw. They didn't trade Gallows and Anderson to SmackDown. I see a Balor Club reunion in the works. Or at least it should be in the works. Balor is teaming up with Seth Rollins for whatever reason, I don't know. But if I'm coming back from injury, I'm going right after Seth Rollins and trying to exact revenge on someone putting me out for 8 months and taking my Universal Championship away. Seth Rollins has no friends on Monday Night Raw. He already beat Triple H. That's over and done with. As soon as he gets done with Samoa Joe, that's going to be over and done with. Joe doesn't have Kevin Owens anymore. Kevin Owens is on SmackDown. So what's left for Seth Rollins to do? You're going to revisit an eventual showdown of Balor and Seth Rollins anyway. Why not utilize that and turn that into a Balor heel turn? Why don't you utilize that and the popularity that is the Bullet Club and use that in WWE and give these guys something to do? Gallows and Anderson can certainly use the rub. Balor can certainly use a heel turn, especially being that there is the potential for him to go stale as a babyface. They already tried that. I think Balor overcoming the odds right now and being that babyface, guy on Monday Night Raw trying to overcome, I don't see him challenging a Brock Lesnar. I don't see him challenging a Braun Strowman. I don't see that. I don't see Balor in the World Championship scene on Raw until at least 2018. So how do you utilize him? Turn him heel. Turn him heel. Give the fans at WrestleMania something that they can actually sink their teeth into. Give the hardcore audience what they want to see. Give the casuals what they want to see. A showdown of the Shield versus the Bullet Club, aka Balor Club, at WrestleMania is the way to go. Roman doesn't need another coronation. Roman doesn't need another WrestleMania moment. Roman doesn't need another crowning moment where he's holding up a world championship closing the show. That is going to be the worst thing you could do. Nobody wants to see that. Give us the Roman Reigns that we want to see. Give us the Roman Reigns in a role where we know he will thrive. That's the role I want to see him in. Not winning world championships, not beating Brock Lesnar, not closing the show and having yet another WrestleMania moment, a coronation of the man. Well, he's already the man. He's already the number one guy. You're going to put him against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania? What is that going to do? He already had that against Triple H. He beat Hunter at WrestleMania 32 for the world title in the main event. That was his, you know what, this is the guy to lead us into the future. So you're going to put him in the main event again and you're going to have the same thing happen again after it just happened? There's no better match right now. It's not Lesnar. It's not anybody else. There's no better match for Roman Reigns to be a part of. There's no better plan on Monday Night Raw now than this. Roman, Seth, and Dean versus Balor, Gallows, and Anderson at WrestleMania. And you know what? I think people are honestly ready to see some stables being formed on WWE television. I think stables would, invigorate and rejuvenate the product. That's just me. Let me know what you guys think about that down in the comments below. Bray Wyatt. We all know Bray Wyatt is the reverse Undertaker at WrestleMania, especially what happened at WrestleMania 33 when he should have won at WrestleMania against Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. But he is the reverse Undertaker. And he's 0-3 at WrestleMania. Bray Wyatt is such a unique superstar. He's got all the tools to be the man in WWE. He was WWE Champion on SmackDown. He was main eventing on SmackDown. He was given an opportunity that he was not receiving on Monday Night Raw. I mean, for the love of God, he pinned AJ Styles and John Cena in a span of 48 hours from the Elimination Chamber to that SmackDown following the Elimination Chamber. There's no way to get a superstar over than that. That's a crowning, defining moment that we were all proud of when it happened. But WWE slides Bray Wyatt right down into mid-card purgatory, and I don't know why. He went from being a number 1 on SmackDown to realistically, if you look at the roster, being a number 3 or a number 4, in best case scenario, a number 5. I don't think WWE has any idea what they want to do with Bray Wyatt. I don't know if it's that they're just out of ideas as far as the character goes. I don't know if they like that type of character and gimmick and imagery being a number 1 guy. I don't know. I don't know what the reason is, but the guy certainly possesses all the tools to be a number 1 guy. He's got the look, he's got the skill, he's great in the ring, he's great on the microphone, he's unique. He's got the look. He's got what it takes. And the mystique around Bray Wyatt is what should be a defining thing that really sets off WWE and says, you know what, we got money with this guy. There's no character right now in WWE that even comes close to what a Bray Wyatt is. You can do so much with the Bray Wyatt, but WWE refuses to do so. So how do you bring out the best in Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania? Whether or not this would be for a world title, whether or not this would be at WrestleMania, remains to be seen. But I think this would serve as a great WrestleMania showcase. We all know what Bray Wyatt is capable of. Broken Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt in something that has been teased on social media for a very long time needs to happen at WrestleMania. The Hardys first need to be broken. Don't know how we're going to get there, but I have some ideas about how to get there. Revival is the best tag team in the WWE. Revival may be the best tag team in the world. They are heels, and they do what's best, and they do whatever it takes to win. There's no better team for the Revival to beat than the ultimate baby faces in the Hardys. Having the Revival have their way with the Hardys and take the tag team championships at SummerSlam, that would be a great introduction for them to be broken. Whether they want to challenge for the titles soon after or not, whatever. But all I know is, turning the calendar into 2018, Broken Matt goes on his own. He's still aligned with Brother Nero, but Jeff Hardy, he can do what he wants as the charismatic enigma Jeff Hardy. Possible babyface run at the top one last time for Jeff Hardy. World Championship situation possibly for Jeff Hardy. The matchups that we could have with Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy versus Rollins. Jeff Hardy versus Finn Balor. Jeff Hardy versus Cesaro. The list goes on and on. Jeff Hardy versus Roman Reigns. Dean Ambrose. Bray Wyatt. Whatever you want to do. The door is open. But Broken Matt needs to become Broken Matt first. And I think just with the Broken Matt character mixed with the Bray Wyatt character, it not only would be a WrestleMania moment just based on what the characters provide us, but the match itself, I think, would be an ultimate showdown. And it would be very unique for WrestleMania. I think that's what really needs to happen at WrestleMania for Bray Wyatt. A match with Broken Matt Hardy would be absolutely huge. Not only for Bray, but for Matt as well, and for WrestleMania 34. I think that's the best case scenario for Bray Wyatt right now. Because you look at the landscape on Monday Night Raw, he's all by himself. He has no Wyatt family. I think Broken Matt versus Bray Wyatt is the way to go for WrestleMania 34. Brock Lesnar, the Universal Champion. What do you do with him going into WrestleMania 34? Well, the plan has Brock Lesnar right now dropping the title to Roman Reigns. I don't know if that is the proper thing to do right now, as I just detailed in number 5. I think the Shield should align for a short span and go against the Balor Club at WrestleMania. I think Brock Lesnar needs to put over somebody else. I don't see Roman Reigns beating a Brock Lesnar and having anything good come out of that. I don't see that as being legit. I don't see Roman Reigns being the man. I don't care how many times he beats Braun Strowman or how many ambulance he comes crawling out of. I don't see him beating Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. And on top of that, I already told you he already had his coronation at WrestleMania 32 against Triple H. He doesn't need any more. So what do you do in replace of Roman Reigns? You give us the most legit fight that you could possibly book with the talent you have on Monday Night Raw. And that legit fight is Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe at WrestleMania 34. I think that offers a little bit of everything for everyone. And I think it's a match that would honestly have everybody on the edge of their seat. Samoa Joe is a destroyer. You book him as such. You book him into the Royal Rumble. You have him win the Royal Rumble. Samoa Joe cannot be stopped. At the end of the tunnel, he's looking at Brock Lesnar. The promos that Samoa Joe is capable of against Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar and the showdowns that could be. You tell me that's not WrestleMania worthy right now. You're out of your mind. You're completely out of your mind. I think that match serves up a colossal WrestleMania worthy match. And it's something that WWE needs to do before Brock Lesnar says goodbye to the WWE, because realistically, his contract is up at the end of WrestleMania 34. And if they don't revisit that and he doesn't re-sign, WWE is going to miss a huge money-making opportunity. I think Samoa Joe needs to fight Brock Lesnar, whether it's at WrestleMania or any other event beforehand. It needs to happen. But to me, that match screams WrestleMania 34. Joe would be unstoppable. What you do from there on in, I don't know. Do what you want with him. Roman, fine. I don't give a shit. It needs to be Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania 34. That's WrestleMania worthy. The women. I'm tired of the women going into these WrestleMania events or any event just completely clueless. WWE doesn't have any idea as to how to book these women, the multi-person matches, what we've seen at WrestleMania. Both women's matches were complete trash at WrestleMania 33. You had one that lasted 10 minutes that did absolutely nothing to generate any excitement, right? And then you got the SmackDown Live women's match that went on right before the main event and was given 5 minutes. And it was just rush, rush, rush. Let's get these guys off the stage and out of the ring because we got a 25-minute Undertaker retirement we got to get to. Not fair. Doesn't offer storylines for the fans to sink their teeth into. It's just there. It happens. You get a winner, and that's it. Goodbye. You don't remember anything. It's not memorable whatsoever. You got a whole revolution here that you're touting and a whole revolution that you're building up. Yet you can't give us proper storylines and matches that actually are going to make people care about. You know, Charlotte's on SmackDown now. Can you honestly look at SmackDown Live's roster and pick out anybody on that roster to have a match with Charlotte at WrestleMania and be WrestleMania worthy? Yeah, there's Becky, but I don't think that's a WrestleMania worthy match. Not right now, anyway. Maybe come April 2018, maybe. I can't tell the future. Nikki? No. Who else is on there? Tamina? No. Carmella? Naomi? None of those. Absolutely none of those. You know, besides Charlotte being built up as the ultimate female, the most dominant female probably ever in WWE, but when all is said and done, there's only one woman on WWE's roster. I'm not talking about Raw and SmackDown. On their entire roster. There's only one woman that's been built up better than Charlotte. One woman that's been more dominating than Charlotte. And if WWE doesn't have this match happen at WrestleMania, again, a huge money-making opportunity lost. I'm ready for Charlotte to actually pull up her big girl pants and start getting in the ring with actual talent that isn't Sasha and Bayley. We need Charlotte to prove why she is the best in the world. The best female in the world. There's no doubt in my mind Charlotte's going to be SmackDown Live Women's Champion. It could happen next week. It could happen next month. It's going to happen. She will be SmackDown Live Women's Champion in 2017. Mark my words. When it happens, I don't know. But Charlotte needs to be champion going into WrestleMania 34. Charlotte needs to prove on that stage why she is the best. And there's only one woman to do that against. And it's Asuka. Asuka has been built up as the most dominating female in the entire company. Nobody is doing what Asuka is doing right now. And at a pace that she's doing it. Asuka needs to be on the main roster by the time SummerSlam concludes. Charlotte needs to go into WrestleMania as SmackDown Live Women's Champion. Asuka versus Charlotte in a showdown of who is best at WrestleMania. Asuka slays everyone on SmackDown's roster. A mini feud with Becky here. A mini feud with Naomi here. A mini feud with, I don't know, Nikki when she comes back. Charlotte needs to show us why she's the best. WWE really needs to get away from booking these women sloppy. WWE needs to get away from mishandling the women when it comes to WrestleMania. Instead of getting everybody on one match on the show just because, give me something that makes sense. Asuka versus Charlotte at WrestleMania needs to happen not only for WrestleMania, but it needs to happen to really show everybody that this truly is a women's revolution. Now, what do you do on Monday Night Raw? Sasha's going to turn heel. There's no other direction except for Sasha to turn heel. Sasha needs to turn heel, whether it happens at SummerSlam, before SummerSlam, after SummerSlam. It needs to happen, and it needs to really play a role in where her relationship and her feud with Bayley goes. Bayley should hold the title till SummerSlam. Sasha should come out and really proclaim that she couldn't do it with Charlotte on Monday Night Raw. And own up to the fact that Charlotte is the most superior woman. So now, with Charlotte against, Monday Night Raw's restrictions, she was moved. She couldn't help it. Charlotte was moved. And now Sasha, with that Charlotte's away, can now prey on Bayley, can now feast on Bayley, because Bayley's weak. Bayley's weak, and Sasha sees this. And she uses that weakness to turn on Bayley and weaken Bayley some more. Get in there and take the title. Beat Bayley at SummerSlam. Get revenge for TakeOver Brooklyn 1. Give us a match that revisits the classic that they had, but this time Sasha beats Bayley instead of Bayley beating Sasha. And Bayley's friendship with Sasha's deteriorating, and Bayley sticks the knife in the back. And Bayley is upset, and Sasha continues to prey on that weakness. And over months and months and months leading into WrestleMania, Bayley, with each opponent that she beats, she becomes more strong. That confidence is back. She comes fighting up from that dark hole that she's in because she lost her best friend. All the moments and the memories gone. And all she has right now is revenge. And you have that culminate at WrestleMania. Charlotte, Asuka, SmackDown, Bayley, Sasha, WrestleMania, with Bayley beating her ex-best friend in what should be a WrestleMania moment. One that WWE missed out on this year. But if they book it right, it could ultimately turn out better than what could have happened this year. That's my women's plan for WrestleMania 34. I might be speaking out of just a fan's perspective and not really thinking about what WWE is going to do. But what I think is best for WWE now is exactly what I just explained to you. Number one really doesn't need any explanation whatsoever. I'm sure you guys know what that match is. WrestleMania is the showcase of the Immortals, the grandest stage of WWE's year. To me, when you think of WrestleMania, I'm not thinking Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. I'm not thinking of a coronation of Roman Reigns. I'm thinking of what is the best wrestling match that WWE can put on to really make WrestleMania feel like WrestleMania. What is missing from the last several WrestleManias? That one great wrestling match that really takes you back and makes you fall in love as to why you are a wrestling fan. AJ Styles is probably the best wrestler in the world. The guy does nothing short of a 4-star match every time he goes out. AJ Styles needs to be the WWE champion going to WrestleMania 34. I don't care. The guy is that good and deserves to be on that stage holding the biggest prize in this industry. AJ Styles also needs an opponent that is of equal skill or greater than he is. WrestleMania is about having the best talent in the world go one-on-one for the ultimate prize. There's nothing that speaks WrestleMania to me right now than AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. They're on the same brand. They are two of the best talents in the world. AJ is incredibly over as a babyface. Nakamura is just a step below AJ Styles. If you want people to go batshit crazy at WrestleMania, if you want to really give the fans something that is going to make a WrestleMania moment that will live in the annals of this company, you put AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura in the same ring, at the same event, for the biggest prize that company has, and close the show with that. I don't care what WWE has planned. That is the WrestleMania match that everybody wants. That is the match that needs to close WrestleMania. And I don't care how it happens. I don't care how you get there. It needs to happen. That is my top 5. Thank you guys so much for literally everything. Thank you for your support. If you guys want to support the channel, patreon.com/JD from NY206. Thank you to everybody that's pledged in this dark age of YouTube right now. I am the Adless Wonder, and you guys are really making up for it via the Patreon page. Once again, that's patreon.com/JD from NY206. Another great way to support the show and the channel and the podcast, audibletrial.com/offthescript. 30 days free to try their service out with one free audio book of your choice. Man, a lot of people cashed in on the AJ Lee book, hearing great things about it. A lot of you guys have tweeted me that you cashed in on it. You guys can have it for free. audibletrial.com/offthescript. And if you guys don't want anything wrestling related, there's over 180,000 books to choose from anyway. Compatible with Android and iPhone devices, and also Barbershop Window. Make sure you guys support Off the Script with a t-shirt. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. 9 different designs, $19.99, all shapes and sizes. They ship worldwide, no matter where you are, man. I am JD. Follow me on Twitter, @JD from NY206. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already, and I will be back later tonight with Off the Script Part 2. Do not go anywhere. More content to come. I am JD. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later tonight for Off the Script.